Today we're at Broadmoor Lake Park where we're celebrating Strathcona County Pride's very first ever Pride in the Park Festival. Where this year was going to be the 50th anniversary of not just Bill C-150, but as well Stonewall riots, we thought that this would be the most poetic and apt year to have a full Pride Festival here in the county. When you're starting something for the first time, it's really easy to focus only on the adversity and focus only on the challenges. And we've gotten a great deal of support, not just from community members, but everyone from the mayor down. So seeing that level of support and seeing that encouragement and having those one-on-one conversations with county councilors, business people, community members, teachers, admin staff at schools, like having those conversations and seeing them say things like, I never thought I'd see the day where Strathcona County would have a Pride Festival. Thank you so much. It makes that 5 months of work that our steering committee put in mean everything. Because Strathcona County is such a family-focused community as a whole, we thought that the best way to really establish Pride was to show the community that where some of them may have that stereotype in their head of Pride being all nudity and all debauchery and all those amazing things, that it's also very much for families. So many families here in Strathcona County are touched by the intersection of LGBTQ2S+ people that I think it's important that we acknowledge that and celebrate it with pride. Today for guests we have people like Compass Center for Sexual Wellness. We as well have the Strathcona County Youth Council here. We also brought in Yardstick, who's doing a youth needs assessment assessment for Strathcona County. We as well have the Strathcona County Library, who's been an amazing partner for many years of ours. We as well have the Sherwood United Church. I worked with them over the course of the last couple of years because they were doing consultations to become an affirming congregation, which I am very proud to say last April they were the 200th in Canada to become certified affirming and inclusive congregation. They actually do inclusive services every single week, so they elected not to do a special service this week because every single week is inclusive for them.
Hi, my name is Kurt Katzmar. I am one of the ministers at the Sherwood Park United Church, soon to be rebranded as United in the Park. It's important, I think, for spiritual communities to acknowledge the fact that there's all flavors of human beings and they all belong in a spiritual community. And so we welcome and affirm absolutely everybody that comes to our church and digs in to spiritual inquiry and intellectual freedom. You don't have to believe any particular thing. You don't have to belong to any particular kind of group. What we're interested in is finding out who you really are, who we really are. Open, open, open is what we try to be. Do we always succeed? Well, we're human beings. Whoever you are, whomever you love, you belong here at United in the Park.
It's clearly come a long way due to the bravery and commitment of many individuals. But now, it's up to all of us to ensure we continue to build an inclusive society for our colleagues, customers, and communities. Thank you so much.
Our event is being sponsored by TD. I had to sit down with some of the branch managers from TD to discuss the overlap between corporations and Pride, where we recognize that Pride festivals do need financial support to be viable, because things like tents, permits, food, those resources cost money. But having corporations can also be a hardship because a lot of corporations will put a rainbow flag in their window for a week or two, long enough to capture our dollar, but the rest of the year they're not necessarily supporting the LGBTQ2S+ community at all. Whereas TD definitely has put the work in to make sure that they're supporting their LGBTQ2S+ colleagues, and they do a lot of great support within the community. What would happen if I had community organizations but I had to charge them $300 just to be here? A lot of them wouldn't even have that money, and would I want them to be excluded just because they don't have money to give me? If they're going to be supported, if they're actually putting the work in the rest of the year, if they're showing that they're an organizational ally, then I think they can belong. But for a lot of our cutie BIPOC, they've been excluded for a long time, and even the motions to make them feel more included hasn't always been as equals, it's been sort of tokenization. It's been, well, here is a tent, aren't you happy? Whereas the systemic reasons why they're uncomfortable, why they feel unsafe, hasn't necessarily been addressed. The difference with Strathcona County is that it does not have a substantial people of color population. It's a relatively small segment within Strathcona County, so the conversation that we had wasn't around representing what exists in the county, even though that's certainly a thing we want to do, and wherever possible we were including those groups. But it was about bringing that perspective and that lens to all of our events to ensure that people from Strathcona County who maybe don't have a lot of contact with QT BIPOC would be able to have that contact. So we had the Human Library at Strathcona County Library this week, and we had a lot of intentionality with who our living books were to ensure that we were incorporating those lenses all the way through the day. So we wanted to ensure that, especially in that moment where that event was very much about learning from the experiences of people who are different than ourselves, that's where that one-on-one would really become crucial. And then for Pride in the Park itself, we wanted to invite as many diverse organizations to come table. Not all of them were able to. Obviously, it's a very large weekend. Saturday the 1st is typically one of the big ones. So not every group was able to come, but we did have that intentionality when it came to who we were inviting to the table, who we were inviting to come onto the steering committee as well. So we specifically sought out people within Strathcona County who were QT BIPOC to come sit on the steering committee, to be involved as they could be. And not everyone that we invited to come were able to, and that's fine too, because not everyone is able to put themselves in that position. Not everyone's able to attend meetings. It's definitely that. But we also wanted to make sure we were getting their consultation and finding out, what would you like to see? For you to feel safe, what would it look like? For you to be engaged and feel like you're represented, what would that look like? Asking those questions and not just hearing the answers and saying, okay, I got the answer, but I'm not going to use it for anything. We got feedback that people would feel uncomfortable with police here. So as you can notice, police aren't here. We specifically did that whenever we were asking those questions. The answers that we got, we weighted them a little bit stronger, because those are the people that we want to make sure feel safe here, and they're the people who we want to make sure are included here as well. I think for next year we expand. So now that we've sort of done a test case to show the community that supporting this is not only worthwhile, but it's also super important, I think next year we expand. We have events every single day of the week, all different kinds of events, so some that are more education, some that are more social, and have a good mix of young, old, different generations, different ethnicities, different everything. I want to have something for everyone. One of the activities that we brought today was a wheel with pegs, where each peg has a different either identity or life event or feeling. And then we have rainbow yarn that we're having people crisscross all the different pegs that fit for them, to show people that we have more in common than we have that separates us. And it's actually been one of the activities that has been the hugest hit. We've had everyone from little kids up to seniors all taking part. All of them have said that they never stop to think about how we're connected to one another and how we're more the same than we are different. And I think that's really, at the end of the day, what Pride's all about. It's about showing people that even when we're different, we're more the same than we're different. And empathy is really, I think, the key motivation behind that, the key emotion that binds that together.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more of Edmonton's 2019 Pride events, or if you want to watch more of the other fun stuff that we have coming down the road, make sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks.